Good evening and welcome. Juliet Dunn here, and this is the Livestream Love Jazz series. Delighted that you could join us this evening, and I hope you're staying safe and sound, and hopefully we can bring you some relief during these trying times, to say no least. We're bringing you these shows every Friday and Saturday night, and we're happy to do so. I'm so excited to bring on our special guest for this evening. I've known him for, I think, I'll have to check with him. It feels like about 15 years already. His name is Bruce Tournay, born and raised in Hamilton, now resides in Burlington. And he has quite a resume to boast. He started in 1988 performing, so he sings as well as plays piano. So that's going to be a treat for you this evening. He's performed all over Jazz FM, City TV. He won a gold performance at the Calgary Music Festival. He performs solo, he performs duo, and he also has a quintet that he leads. And he also has a new project that has just been released. I believe it's within a few days or a few weeks. Well, let me bring him on. His name is Bruce, and he can tell you more about that. Hey, Bruce, how are you tonight?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Very well, very well. Welcome. We're so happy to have you this evening.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, so your recent record, it was released just a few days ago. Was it online or?
Literally like a few days ago, yeah. It was ready for release in a way sooner than that, but I was sitting on it for a couple of years because so many other things pre-COVID keep you so busy you can't get around to the stuff that the focus of your heart or whatever. And so finally, in the midst of this, I got around to getting it mastered. And I finally solved the problem of one duet that was supposed to happen on it. And that got to be handled by Amy King, who is known for her work at Grant Ave Studio, the famous Hamilton studio.
Fantastic.
Of U2 fame and, other Canadian.
Yeah.
So she's actually singing the duet and also did the mixing for that particular duet on there.
Great, and you're going to be
during COVID, like during the pandemic.
Wow, yeah. Crazy stuff. So you're going to be performing a few of your original tunes tonight, then?
Couple of originals, a whole bunch of recognizable standards, and a few things a little bit off the beaten path. Yeah.
Nice. Well, we're really looking forward to it. I'm going to disappear, well, from view, but I'll be watching and listening. If ever you want me to come in and chat, I'm here. So just do your thing. We're really looking forward to your show.
Sure.
Have a good one. See ya.
You too.
Thank you.
It's just me now, I guess. I know Juliet's somewhere in another room watching the same thing. So this first tune that I'd like to do is a song by Ralph Rayner and Leo Robin. And you'll recognize it's a classic standard. The reason I'd like to do it is not because of Ralph and Leo, but actually because of Kurt Elling, a major influence of mine. He does a terrific version of this. And, so then if you hear some of his phrasing or even some of his melodic choices in my representation, I apologize. It is deliberately by accident that's happening. And maybe I'll start. Cheers, everyone. Enjoy the evening. This is a bit of wine. Those of you who know me know that I don't drink. So I thought it would be a fun experiment to try to drink during this broadcast, and we can monitor its effects on my motor skills. All right. Living for you is easy living, is easy to give. When you're in love, and I'm so in love, there's nothing in life but you. Happy to give. The years I'm giving, they're easy to give. When you're in love, There's nothing in life but you. For you. Maybe I'm a fool, but it's fun. People say you rule me with one wave of your hand. Darling, it's grand. People just don't understand that living for you, it's easy living, it's easy to give. When you're in love, and I'm so in love, there's nothing in life but you. For you. Maybe I'm a fool, but it's fun. People say you rule me with one wave of your hand. Darling, it's grand. People just don't understand that living for you, it's easy living, it's easy to give. When you're in love, and I'm so in love, there's nothing in life but you. Easy living. Tip the hat to Kurt. Holy smokes, he's posting some pretty cool things himself, actually. This next one, you know, also those of you who know me and those of you who don't, let me just tell you, for the last 30 years or something, I've had quite a bit of occasion to play churches and seniors residences and soft seaters and all kinds of things. But I have done a fair number of seniors residences. And this next one here is actually a great old chestnut that the seniors enjoy singing along with. And we're reaching way back for this, but I bet you all know it anyways, even if you're from now. This goes back to 1926, and it's called Bye Bye Blackbird. This is a spin on it. We'll see what we get. Pack up all my gear and woe, here I go singing low. Bye bye blackbird, where somebody waits for me, sugar sweet, so is she. Bye bye blackbird, no one here can love or understand me. What hard luck stories they all hand. Make my bed and light the light, I'll arrive late tonight. Packed up all my care and woe, here I go singing low. Bye bye, blackbird, where somebody waits for me, sugar sweet, so is she. Bye bye, blackbird, no one here can love or understand me. What hard luck stories they all hand me. Make my bed and light the light, I'll arrive late tonight. Blackbird, 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 bye bye. A little bit of Blackbird. I hope you sung along. And I got to be honest, you know, that version there would have driven the seniors out of the room, because that's not how we do it. When we do it for them, we go, packed up all my care and woe. You know, it's not quite as dark as some of the things I was doing there. All right, another big influence of mine is a guy by the name of Chet Baker. And you know what? If I had to pick one ambassador for jazz, it'd probably be Chet Baker. There's just something about the way that guy plays where it's so incredibly melodic, but it makes you feel like, well, how else would it have gone? That's the way it should have gone. You know, it's just something else. And he plays stuff that doesn't even seem like it should agree with what they taught us in college. How does that work? Yeah. Anyways, this is a song that I actually learned from listening to Chet. So this is Everything Happens to Me. I make a date for golf, and you can bet your life it rains. I try to throw the party, and the guy upstairs complains. I guess I'll go through life just catching colds and missing trains. Everything happens to me. I never miss a thing. I've had the measles and the mumps, and every time I play an ace, my partner always trumps. I guess I'm just a fool who never looks before he jumps. Everything happens to me. At first my heart thought you could break this jinx for me, that love would turn the trick to end despair. But now I just can't fool this heart that thinks for me. I've mortgaged all my castles in the air. I've telegraphed and phoned and sent an airmail special too. Your answer was goodbye, and there was even postage due. I fell in love just once, and then it had to be with you. Everything happens to me. first my heart thought you could break this jinx for me, that love would turn the trick to end despair. But now I just can't fool this heart that thinks for me. I've mortgaged all my castles in the air. I've telegraphed and phoned and sent an airmail special too. Your answer was goodbye, and there was even postage too. I fell in love just once, and then it had to be with you. Everything happens to me. Everything happens to me. All right. Monitoring the effects of the wine on my motor skills. I found when I was out on the cruise ships doing this, if I had a drink, actually my singing improved for a while and the motor skills would go, and then eventually they both would go. And for me, that was a beer, because I really don't drink. I had to get them to water things down if the guests wanted to buy me stuff. They'd buy me shooters and stuff and say, the Canadian guy can take it. The Canadian guy can't take it, believe me. So they put mostly water in there, and I would come off like a hero, let me tell you. Maybe not the first night. The first night I hadn't learned that yet. But anyways, otherwise, yes. So here we go. How about some, you know what? Let's take a complete turn to the left here. Let's do this. This is a guy I really liked. He released a thing in the 80s called Pontiac, that album Pontiac. And maybe you know who I mean, a guy with some crazy hair who was once married to Julia Roberts. This is a song by Lyle Lovett, and I love Lyle Lovett, and that album, half of it is like little big band material, and this song is a jazzy tune, even though he's not a jazz guy. This is called She's No Lady. She hates my mama, she hates my daddy too. She loves to tell me she hates the things I do. She loves to lie beside me almost every night. Well, she's no lady, she's my wife. The preacher asked her, and she said, I do. The preacher asked me, she said, yes, he does too. The preacher said, I pronounce you 99 to life. Well, she's no lady, she's my wife. And I can't remember just how I met her. Seemed like she's always just been a hanging here off my right arm. And I can't remember just how I felt that I just couldn't live without a woman's charm. And even though she loves the smell of French perfume, even though she walks around in high-heeled shoes, well, all I know is I'm the one who pays the price. And she's no lady, she's my wife. And even though she loves the smell of French perfume, even though she walks around in high-heeled shoes, well, all I know is I'm the one who pays the price. Man, she's no lady, she's my wife. Said she's no lady. Oh, boy. Said she's no lady. Ha! said she's no lady, she's my wife. Yes. All right, Lyle. I don't know if he was talking about Juliet when he wrote that. Seems a little unfair. I sure do enjoy a fun song. I'll tell you what, speaking of fun songs, why don't we go to one of my tunes? And you've seen some of the things from where I'm coming from, the kinds of standards I like, and some of the artists and composers and reasons for why. And this is a tune that I wrote, and it's on the new album. It was originally written with a real girl's name in there, but that girl didn't like the song or whatever. It certainly didn't work to gain her affections, and so I just took her name out, and instead I put in the diminutive sort of what do you want to call it, nickname, Snookums. And so it's called Snookums. And I'll tell you, you know, now that I changed it to Snookums, I can sing this to anybody's wife, and it gets me tips. Maybe sometimes gets me in a fight in the parking lot too. But anyways, this is Snookums. The album, I'll just say a little commercial here for it. It has some fantastic talent on it. The album has Pat Collins on bass, Terry Clark on drums, Russ Little on trombone, Bill McBurney on flute, myself playing keys because I ran out of budget there. And I'm singing the leads. I'm on pen for the whole thing. I wrote all the material. And actually also Tuba 4 is featured too. So that's Tuba J. Burr on tuba, Danny Lockwood on drums, with guest appearances by Sal Rosselli, and as I told Juliet before, guest appearance by Amy King of Grand Ave Studios. This one's called Snookums. I think she's cute in her jeans, and she's cute in her shirt, and I've seen her cute in a skirt that she wears. I know she's sweet when she smiles. Yes, she's sweet all the while. Even when she frowns, she's a knockout. It's not fair. And I even think she and I could be quite a pair, are we? But it's just a dream for this cat. What about that? What about that? What about that? She's the one that I like. She's the one that I love, and she goes by Snookums. What a lovely name at that. Even think she and I could be quite a pair, are we? But it's just a dream for this cat. What about that? What about that? What about that? She's the one that I like. She's the one that I love, and she goes by Snookums. What a lovely name at that. A little bit of Snookums. Time for another beautiful standard. This one by Errol Garner. Sometimes that's the way I like it. Occasionally, you got like a tune that's so pretty like that, you don't got to go expand on it necessarily. Like we could make it 12 minutes long, but isn't it just nice the way it is too sometimes, especially with a ballad like that? So I just left it alone today. We've even played that in 3 sometimes. That's kind of fun too. What's our time at? Hey, Juliet, want to join me for a second? You there?
Yes, I am. I was just
What's
writing. You can't see the comments from where you are, can you?
I cannot.
Okay, well, I'll tell you about them. You got some thumbs up. You've got Claudette Boudreau enjoying in St. Catharines. Merci beaucoup. Tim and Lisa Johnson enjoying the show from the Six Nations. And I was just typing back to say, hi, Tim, and then you called me in. You caught me. No, it's good. It's good if people are engaged. How does it feel over there?
It's great, Well, I mean, the way I've got the room set up, there's some lights here to light better than usual, and I'm hot. Like, it's actually hot in here.
Is it an attic? Are you upstairs?
What?
In an attic?
I'm upstairs. I'm in a loft up here. It's a big loft. It's a loft nonetheless, yeah.
Nice. Sounds great, Bruce. We're having a good time.
So
well, I know I am, and so are the people who are commenting.
Oh, good. Yay. What's the clock at? I just don't want to go crazy.
It's 7:29, so you got half an hour.
Oh, well, we're halfway through, which looks about right based on what I got planned, I think.
Excellent. Excellent.
Yeah, it should get us there.
I like that Snookums tune. That's fun.
Nice tune, eh? Those guys had a lot of fun. They had some things. Terry Clark, I believe, if I recall correctly, most enjoyed a tune called "Nowhere Without You." Pat and him both got a big laugh out of one that I'm going to do later for you in a song or two.
Yeah.
And because we only read through it once, so they're reading off the chart. We only played it down once and decided that take was the take. But because of that, you can actually hear some snickers on the recording, like of Terry kind of reacting to the lyrics and whatnot. Nice. So that's kind of cool. Anything like that on the project was kept. It was all tracked live, and usually in 2 takes. So we do one take to warm up on the chart, then we'd run the tune, and then we'd actually do the second one. 3 takes in all, but 2 actual takes, and the second one was usually the keeper. But in the case of the song I'm talking about, that first take was the one that we kept.
One take wonder. Nice.
Yeah, it's kind of cool to have that, but it's got some personality on it. I mean, occasionally on the 2 before stuff, you'll even hear a cough that made it into the overheads on the drum mics because we wanted things real. So we were all sitting right in the same room.
This is pre-COVID, right? Pre-COVID?
This was all pre-COVID.
Okay. Yeah. We're not liking the coughing into Mike's part.
Not good. No, that wouldn't be good now unless you were in a room by yourself.
Yeah, I know.
Not water, But anyways, that's what's up there. And I forgot what I was going to say about the tunes. Oh, I know. I was going to do a little plug for a friend.
Nice.
This just came out at the same time as mine. It's Pat Collins.
Oh, wow. Very cool.
Time well spent. And I think everybody should buy it. Because the album title is telling you that it's time well spent, and if you do the equation, time is money. So then this must be money well spent. And I've been looking for it. It's terrific. And since Pat's on my project, and I just got a copy of this in the mail, I thought, hey, buy Pat's album. The other guys have things out too. They really do. They got lots of. Bill's got a recent thing out too called Silent Wish. With Bernie Sinitsky and stuff. I suggest you get that too. Russ Little's got a ton of stuff. Everybody knows who those guys are. They've all got their stuff. But anyways, this was a kick. So
great players, Bruce. Great players. Wow.
Sorry?
Great players that are on your album.
Oh, it's just fabulous playing, and I was so thrilled with the way that it was tracked. The album wasn't even mixed. We left the faders the way they were at the end of the session, and I just had that mastered. And that's a testament to Julian DeCourt over at Canterbury, because you just don't get that. I mean, the way that he was listening to it in the control room, what he wanted to hear is how, to me, the mix should go. And so that's what we kept. Saved a stage, and it sounds super natural from that. I'll tell you what, I'm going to skip over to the song I was talking about, the one that kind of cracked up Barry and Pat.
Excellent.
I'll give you a little history on it, and then we'll hit it.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so this tune is not what it sounds like it is, but what it is about it's about being in a relationship and then explaining away all kinds of reasons why you should be out of it, making it sort of feel like it's the other person's fault, and then when you get out of it later on, you realize at least half of that blame rested with you, and maybe even more of it, because none of us are perfect. So in this song, the guy steadily talks himself into thinking the girl is more sort of psychologically distorted than she really is. You'll see. I used to be so smitten with you and all you did. I used to love your quirky little traits. I used to call you kitten, you crazy little kid. But when I noticed it was far too late, what's with your eyes? 'Cause one of them is higher than the other. I can't quite tell whether they're your father's or your mother's, 'cause one's a little blue and one's a little green, and everyone I talk to knows exactly what I mean. What's with your eyes? What the hell's the matter with your eyes? I used to love you dearly, and I know you love me. I used to buy you flowers by the pound, and though you need not fear me, I hope that you can see it's over now because of what I found. What's with your nose? 'Cause it's a little huger than it should be. I can't quite tell if it's just as little as it could be. It seems a bit too large, it's too easy to see, and everyone who's met you just agrees wholeheartedly. What's with your nose? Sweetheart, there's a problem with your nose. Your mouth's a whole new story, a crooked, wretched grin. But do not take offense, I only tell the truth. Your breath is most unpleasant due to what's therein. Sure, you could look better, you've only got one tooth. What's with your face? 'Cause I've seen nicer cheekbones on an ostrich. I'm fairly certain that terrorists would never take you hostage. Your skin's a little green and a little blue, and everybody knows about it except for little you. What's with your face? Baby, what's the story on your face? Sweetheart, there's a problem with your nose. What the hell's the matter with your eyes? Yeah. So yeah, not what it sounds like. It's not about what it sounds like, but I hope you enjoyed that. It's got some of my favorite quirky rhymes in it. Here's something else that is a standard, a true standard. reminiscing, and our lips that taste of tears lose their taste for kissing. You don't know how hearts burn for love that cannot live yet never dies, until you faced each dawn with sleepless eyes. How can you know what love is? What love is? What love is? What love is? About time for another drink after that. I finished it. I nursed it across the time here. All right, what kind of time we got left?
7:41.
41. Okay, another 5 here, and it's 40s. Sure, I'm gonna do 2 more tunes for you. I'm gonna give a little bit of setup on this one. This is a thing I wrote. You know what this story's about? This was actually a person who was complaining to me that they were too attractive, and they were saying, you know, I can't even go out with a paper bag on or something without, you know, kind of getting ogled or whatever. And I thought, oh, okay, you know, yeah, that's not good. That's not good. And the oglers, you know, should be taken to task for that. However, I don't know, though. I mean, on the other hand, there are some benefits that come from being so attractive that if you wear a paper bag, you're getting doors open for you and whatnot. So this tune was a bit of a response to that. And it's called Suck It Up. It's got a bit of a New Orleans flair and R&B. Pretty girl, I'm so tired of listening to your whining. Shut it down. Because you're weary of outings where everybody's head just swivels round. Well, somewhere there's a lonely girl wishing she was you out on the town. Her complaints better founded. She opens all the doors now for herself. Her genetics not well grounded. Her backless evening front is on the shelf. Well, the price of wearing beauty is you don't get to choose whence comes the wealth. Ha! Suck it up, baby. Yeah, suck it up. Come on. Soak it up, baby. Yeah, soak it up. Hold on tight to your looks, dear, 'cause they will only last you for your youth. And where are we? It's the West, dear, where those things seem to matter, that's the truth. Well, the other girl's got brains, child. They can last her till the longest tooth. Come on. Suck it up, baby. Yeah, suck it up. Soak it up, baby. Yeah, soak it up. break it down. Suck it up, baby. Yeah, suck it up. Soak it up, baby. Yeah, soak it up. That was Suck It Up. Probably hear the words better than you usually can when the trio's thumping away. Anyways, there you go. So, one more song for you. One more song off the album. I have other influences outside of the jazz idiom, and some of those influences are folks like Paul Simon, folks like James Taylor, certainly Kurt Elling, but also some guys that like tip into a more pop ethos, even though they are jazz guys, like Vince Guaraldi, I also enjoy. So I feel this song kind of grabs some of those vibes. It's sort of got a bit of a Randy Travis meets James Taylor, who happened to have Vince Guaraldi on the session kind of a thing about it. And it's called Love Handles, and it's on the album too. Everything is organized, my ducks are in a row. We're all packed for southern climes, but you don't want to go. You say that it is over, I pray to God above. Why I got love handles if I can't handle love? I got love handles, but I can't handle love. I could do a CAT scan and not know what you're thinking of. The women are like onions, but peeling them's too tough. Sure, I got love handles, but I can't get a handle on love. Yesterday I gave you flowers, today I made you lunch. You're storming off all angry now, well, so much for my lunch. And now you're on the cell phone, telling me enough. Sure, I got love handles, but I can't get a handle on love. I got love handles, but I can't handle love. I can do a Vulcan meld and not know what you're thinking of. The women are like onions, but peeling them's too tough. Sure, I got love handles, but I can't get a handle on love. I got love handles, but I can't handle love. I could drill into your skull and not know what you're thinking of. The women are like onions, but peeling them's too tough. Sure, I got love handles, but I can't get a handle on love. Sure, I got love handles, but I can't get a handle on love. No, I can't get a handle on love. No, I can't get a handle on love. And that was Love Handles. Well, that pretty much does it for me. But Juliet, if you've got any like other questions for me on the end of this thing, you can go ahead and ask.
I do. First of all, thank you so much for a great show. I love all of your originals. Oh my gosh. What was the one when you had so much facial expression? Was it Suck It Up? Is that what it was called?
I don't know. Suck It Up is the kind of soul
Yes.
one, the R&B one. And then there's
Yeah.
also kind of like the Two Feel musical theater cabaret. I probably was pulling from that too, I don't doubt.
No, it was very fun. Lots of variety for us. Tell us, Bruce, because I don't know, I can't remember if you mentioned some of the tribute shows you do. Did you want to talk about that at all, or?
Oh yeah, I do all kinds of that. I for the last coming up on almost 15 years. Well, no, maybe 14 actually. Let's say. I got a call to play behind a guy who was doing Kenny Rogers tribute in the casinos. A guy by the name of Marty Edwards, who is fantastic at doing Kenny Rogers, and almost wound up eventually sounding more like Kenny than Kenny now later sounded.
Wow.
You know, I think he's passed now, but Marty is carrying the torch, and it was really brilliant to play with him. I played with them, and some other guys heard what I was up to in that unit, and they said, hey, we should get this guy in the other unit, and the other unit has been supplying me with work ever since, and that is a unit by the name of Bill Culp Productions.
Right.
And we do tribute act work all across Ontario, but we've also been to Newfoundland. We've also been to Vancouver. We've some of the guys actually trek out yearly to Germany and also to Australia. And these things, I have, when it's not pandemic, I have 3 of those a week in soft seaters around all across Ontario, from this end to that end, from that end to that end. Like we have some long drives and some long hours with those. And I've portrayed at probably 15 or maybe even 20 different characters on those shows, which is costume then. You know, I wear wigs, I draw on facial hair, I do all kinds of cuckoo stuff. I've been Billy Joel, Elton John, Jerry Lee Lewis, you know, and then also represent the music of Ray Charles, Fats Domino, Little Richard, stuff like that too. Those guys I don't dress up like, but you know, but some of the other folks I certainly do, and I've been at that for the last 14 years, and it's a good chunk of the work I do.
Wow. Do you have a favorite out of those 15 to either you know, just the musically or just personality wise, getting into the character? Well,
I mean, you know, much as I might not want to admit it, when I don the garb, I look the most like Elton. You can tell that now with the beard and with the shaved head and everything, but I have basically a very similar face shape to how he was when he was younger. So when I put on Elton stuff, even if it's not the A-list Elton stuff that I'm wearing, I still look Elton-y. So that suits. But as a songwriter, Billy Joel. As a songwriter, from the guys I do, it's Billy Joel, and that's because you can peel his stuff apart from soup to nuts, and and every part of it is strong. If you listen to just the tune by itself, it's powerful on its own, and it conveys the chord movement on its own. If you listen to the chords, you can tell what song it is from the chords, because he writes such cool, sort of unique progressions. And he doesn't, although he always sounds like Billy Joel, he doesn't sound the same song to song.
Right.
And if you pull apart the lyrical content, it reads tidy. It scans beautifully like poetry. And it says exactly what he's trying to say, but with the discipline of good poetry. So if I went on like this, which I am kind of ranting, there's actually no weakness in the writing. I can only think of one song of his that I don't like, and the entire catalog is like this. It's like he's almost like the one-man Beatles as far as his writing, you know.
For the non-musicians, could you give them like an example when you say you can tell just by the chord progressions? Like, could you give us just an example of a couple of chord progressions that would kind of say, oh my gosh, it's that tune? Or am I putting you on the spot?
well, no, I mean, for sure. Like here, I won't even play the song, and I'll go, let's do this. Okay, so I mean, all right.
Don't go changing.
Like I played it poorly because I wasn't ready. But already,
sorry.
Not even like, how long was that, a bar or something? And you got something hooky in that. Then beyond that, actually, if you delve into the chord movement of that song, it's beautiful, and the tune is refracted by the chord movement, unlike some sloppy writing where maybe the tune just kind of does what it wants and the chord might stay very stagnant. He's got very active chords with really, really pretty movement that the melody reflects well enough that if you sing the melody, if you said goodbye to me tonight, there would still be music left to write. That it's like arpeggiating the changes. You can assume what the chords are without even hearing the changes. So it's extraordinarily strong melodic writing. Strong melodic writing will survive any treatment. Like you could play those tunes like a bossa. You could play them in 3. You could play them like rock. You could do anything. You play them as a ballad. You can play the rubato. It's just that the tune is so strong and the chord movement is so strong. And also, actually, the lyrics are so strong. Yeah. So I gotta say Billy Joel, really, but for as a writer.
Nice. And then lastly, just as closing, who would your favorite jazz composer or jazz vocalist be?
I have a hard time with a jazz vocalist because it depends on what you're assessing. There are 3 things that I can think of that matter to that question. One is, the quality of their voice and their accuracy and their emotive, nature. Those things. Okay, those are all one thing. Like that's the voice.
Yeah.
And then there is, can they scat? That's a whole separate thing. And then there is, can they vocalize? And that's a whole other separate thing. So to find somebody who has all of those things and also has this package that most people care about, which is the tone and the intent and also like the accuracy and all this other stuff, it's hard to find somebody that encapsulates all 3. But if you're going to make me pick for a girl, I'm going to say Ella Fitzgerald.
Nice.
And if you're going to make me pick for a guy, I guess I'm going to say Kurt Elling.
Oh, yeah.
However, that said, if you're just looking at the scatting, in my opinion, and I'm right.
Of course you're right.
In my opinion, nobody scats like Chet Baker. Chet Baker is the best scatter because it sounds exactly like what he would play if he had the horn on his mouth. And it's fully transcribable and worth transcribing what he scats as much as it is worth transcribing what he plays on the trumpet. It's insanely good, but it sounds rather like rolling out of the bed for the rest of us would be. So
yeah.
He's got that thing. That's a different thing. His thing that he's got, it's almost like not a trained thing. It's like a gift.
Yeah.
He can't do the wrong thing. Sometimes the health that he's in betrays him and the horn starts up like this or something. What he's doing, it's impossible for him to make a misstep in my understanding. There's a couple other guys too that I feel that about who are still around. Like somebody like Red Schwager is like that. I've never heard him do anything that sounded like it shouldn't have happened.
Yeah. That is a gift. That's a true gift.
and Ed Bickert too. Some of my influences are not piano guys.
No, and that's interesting. Anyway, yeah. Well, Bruce, I can't thank you enough for doing this. I know it's strange times and it's kind of hard for us to wrap our heads around this whole situation. And as musicians, just trying to get the music out there. But luckily for technology, at least we have this option. And thanks again for joining the party and sharing your gifts with us.
Thanks. I hope people will check out the album.
Yes.
It's got a variety of things. The lyrics are engaging. It chronicles my misadventures in romance, some things that went well, some things that didn't. Even there's a song that tells the story of my first kiss.
Ooh, okay. We're going to check. Now, did you tell us how can we get the album again?
The album is on all the sort of streaming platforms, some of the ones that I know are taboo, but unfortunately when I did this, I was unaware of some of those issues, but it's up on iTunes and CD Baby and Spotify and all those places. I'm sure you can find parts or maybe even all of it on YouTube for less. I don't want to commercial that, but I'm sure you can.
Yeah.
And I'm going to make a physical product. I am going to make physical CDs. it just seems like the wrong time. I make a physical CD, I can't hand it to someone, I got to throw it to them from 6 feet away. So I'll wait until we can actually put these things in people's hands, and I'll make a physical copy too, because I know some people prefer that experience, myself included. I like to look at the liner notes. I like to see more pictures. I like to see the lyrics written out, you know, etc.
Absolutely. So remind us of the name of the CD, and I'm putting it up on the screen here.
The CD is called Love, Love, Lemon. And that's a reference to Poor Luck at the Slot Machine.
Yes.
You know, you get 2 hearts, you're so excited. Lemon.
Lemon. So I put it up on the screen for everybody to see. And I'm going to bid you good night. And I hope to see you in face-to-face very soon. And stay safe and have a great long weekend, Bruce. Thanks again.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Take care. Bye. Look at me. Sorry, Bruce. I'm talking away and I left Bruce on the screen. Oh my goodness. Okay, let me start that again. Thank you again for joining us, everyone. I've left Bruce's CD up on the screen. You can also donate to the festival, but let me give you, first you can tip Bruce here. That's the link to give him a tip for his hard work. And you can also donate to the festival, and that's this link here. And we're going to, I'm going to leave Bruce's link up till longer right here. Whoops. We're going to leave you with a little video promoting our Niagara Summer Mardi Gras, because we are going to do an event this summer on July 18th. We're just waiting for the authorities to tell us how and what we're allowed to do. If we're in lockdown, we hope we won't be. It'll be a virtual event, so that's fine. And if we're not, it'll be a VIP event for the few that we're allowed to have gather, and we'll still live stream it. It's Niagara Summer Mardi Gras. It's on Saturday, July 18th. But in the meantime, because we're all in lockdown and we need stuff to keep us mentally sane, we're doing Niagara Summer Mardi Gras sessions, and we're starting this Tuesday with Christopher Butcher, who is going to be live streamed in from New Orleans with Windex Pete. They're going to give us the history of New Orleans and the history of Mardi Gras and second line parades and all that fun stuff. And then we'll have 8 other sessions featuring mask making, Cajun and Creole cooking, classic New Orleans cocktails, second line dance steps, and lots of fun stuff every Tuesday from 6 until 7. So let me try and find the video to say goodbye with. Give me a second here. I think it's here. Once again, everybody, thanks again. Before I say goodbye, tomorrow night is Dave Restivo. Same time, same place on our YouTube and Facebook channel. And here's our Mardi Gras video. Let's see if this works.
Join us for this virtually possible event as we transform Niagara to the New Orleans of the North. Get your mask, beads, baubles, and feathers on. Enjoy Cajun and Creole food, classic cocktails, and dance the night away. Celebrate with us on your porch, in your garden, in your living room, or in your driveway. And wait for the band to parade by. Niagara Summer Mardi Gras, July 18, 2020. It's coming. Just watch and see.